Hey, this is Mark Moore, aka Tuxedo Mark, in various places on the internet. It's 4:16 p.m. according to the computer clock on Wednesday, June 19, 2013. And in this episode, I'm going to give some more thoughts about E3 as well as just my overall impressions of the next generation of video games, or I guess the current generation, since Nintendo got a head start on it. Okay, so with E3, I didn't watch all of Microsoft's press conference. I watched about the first 15 minutes of it. I just haven't been interested in Xbox like at all. Actually, I've never been really. It wasn't even the Xbox 360 wasn't even one of my considerations for the last generation. It was between PS3 and Wii for me. Okay. Now, I did watch a bunch of videos regarding the Xbox One, which is a stupid title, but a lot of people have said that. I watched like 5 videos, including 4 from Angry Joe. I watched his interview with Major Nelson, I watched the behind the scenes of the interview, and I watched his 2-part rant. Oh, and I also watched his PS4 vlog. Okay, so let me see if I can break this down here. First of all, let's talk about Nintendo for a bit. I was looking forward to a press conference from Nintendo, and I was shocked to find out that they didn't have one at E3. It's like, I don't know if this is the first time ever that they've not had a press conference, but it really is a shocking omission. I think Nintendo's problem is they already put out everything that they have. They've already shown it. So they have nothing for E3. Nothing big anyway. I mean, yeah, they're on the floor or whatever. They're showcasing individual games, but I still have yet to watch the E3 individual game videos. But it's really weird for Nintendo to do this. What I think happened is that I think they jumped the gun a bit by putting out the Wii U as early as they did, and ushering in the current generation of video games. I think they should have waited until E3 to announce it, and then release the Wii U during the holiday shopping season, along with the PS4 and the Xbox One. From what I heard, there aren't too many games on the Wii U yet, which is disappointing. The one advantage, I think, is that it is backwards compatible with the Wii, which is something that the PS4 and the Xbox One don't have, which is not surprising, because that was the case with the PS4 and to a large degree with the Xbox 360. I think there were, I'm not an Xbox expert, but I think there's only like a handful of original Xbox games that are playable on the 360. And with the PS4, with the PS3, you can play the original PlayStation games, but you can't play the PS2 games, at least not on the current models. I think you could on the original models, but they had to have the discs had to have a blue surface, I think it was something really weird, and I think supposedly they cut out the PS2 compatibility to remove some hardware and bring the cost down a bit. Like it was a cost-cutting measure. Doesn't bother me too much. I have a PS2, so I can always play my PS2 games on that. But yeah, with the Wii U, the only real advantage is the backwards compatibility with the Wii, I think. And I think, I'm not sure about this. Don't quote me. I think that the Wii U, like any purchases that he made from the Nintendo eShop for the Wii, I think, are those portable over to the Wii U? I'm not sure. Someone please let me know about that. With the PS4, apparently the PS3 purchases won't be transferable to the PS4, which is really disappointing. You would have to like switch back and forth between your PS3 and PS4, because I ain't rebuying my PS3 digital purchases just to play them on the PS4. And supposedly, like, the PS3 games will be emulatable, if that's even a word, on the PS4. Like, you can purchase them and it loads them from the cloud or whatever. I think when I get a PS4, I'll focus on just the actual PS4 games for it. But, okay, let's talk about the Xbox One. Stupid title. Again, I'll just reiterate that because what do you call the original Xbox now? I guess no one ever called it the Xbox One, really. But now you gotta be sure to call it the original Xbox. Also, the digital rights management. It's like, what are they thinking? Seriously, what is Microsoft thinking about this? Where you gotta there's like a code you gotta put in, and the 24-hour online check-in, and supposedly you have to have the connected. It's like a camera is required, and if you don't log on like once every 24 hours to check in, basically, with your parents, it's like Microsoft is your parents, then you won't be allowed to play your games. Even the offline games. This is beyond stupid. And apparently, you'll be able to sell the games only at authorized retailers. Whatever that means. Probably like the big box retailers, and I'm guessing GameStop as well, probably. I don't know if any of the smaller businesses would be able to opt in for this. But then, you see, the thing is, you'll have like, not a monopoly, but a very small group of retailers that are authorized retailers. They're not going to mark the price down much, if anything, compared to the the new games. Used games will cost almost just as much. So imagine paying, well, it's going to be $499 for the Xbox One, which is too high. And then when you have to purchase the games new, pretty much. So imagine $60 per game. You might not be able to sell them for very much anyway, because the retailers are going to know that you really don't have many options of where to go. So they'll give you, what, I don't know, $15 for a used Xbox One game. Can't loan them to friends or whatever. There's supposed to be like some kind of family sharing thing where you can like have 10 people playing. Oh, that's real innovative, allowing, you know, other people in your house to play the games. Supposedly you can loan a game to your friend like once, or you can sell it once or something like that, and then they can't. Supposedly they won't be able to sell it to a retailer or whatever. And I think you can loan a game only once as well. It's like any kind of feature that they announce is also a restriction of some kind. And I know that I'm copying what other people have said, but really there's pretty much no other way to say this. I like the part in Sony's press conference where they announced that they're supporting used games. When I've been with Sony since the PS1, and then I got the PS2, and I got the PS3. I always got all of them way after they came out, and I'm really considering getting a PS4. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely gonna get one eventually, obviously, but I don't know if I'll get one right away. I might. I'll have to check to see what the launch titles are, and if there's anything coming out soon that I would be interested in getting. Final Fantasy 15, obviously. I'm not sure when that comes out. Other than that, I'll have to look at the launch titles. But yeah, the Xbox One, I'm definitely not getting it. Because for another thing, what is to stop Microsoft from 10 years down the line just shutting down the servers, and then you won't be able to play the games, and your Xbox One will basically become a very expensive doorstop. That's about it. It's like you won't be able to sell your used games after that. And you won't be able to sell your console. It'll stop working when those servers go down. And, you know, as has been mentioned before, I don't think nothing like this has happened in the history of console gaming before. You can go to a flea market, you can pick up an NES, you can pick up a Super NES, you can pick up a Sega Genesis, or an Atari 2600, or a Nintendo 64, or anything. And you can buy a used console, you can buy the used games, you can take them home and play them. You won't be able to do that with the Xbox One. Unless Microsoft implements some kind of firmware update to prevent this, which they could do. From what I heard, it's not built into the hardware, it's a software thing. But you know, I bet you there's going to be a bunch of hackers that figure that out first. Seriously. There's going to be some kind of illegal method to be able to like get rid of the 24-hour online check-in requirement and all that other crap. So yeah, I'm just not buying an Xbox One. I don't know who else would do so either, but I strongly advise you to not buy one. If you're into those same, types of games, the fighters, the shooters, racing games, get a PS4. Alright, other people can go into more detail about why the Xbox One just sucks. So check out some other videos. With the PS4, by the way, I compared the specs. The PS4 is the most powerful of the three. So that's got that going for it, definitely. Now, as I mentioned, there's no backwards compatibility with the PS3. So if I bought a Wii U, I could potentially have a larger immediate game library. I would have to do make a list of games, available for the Wii and the Wii U, and available for the PS4. What's going to be coming out immediately and what will be coming out. Because I've been considering getting an actual Wii, just an original Wii, and that obviously would be cheaper. In terms of numbers of games that I want to get, the Wii probably has a bigger library than the PS4 will have. Now, obviously, I'm gonna get a PS4 eventually. I just don't know what I want to get first. But yeah, my prediction for the current generation of video games, the one that started with the Wii U and will include the PS1 and the Xbox One and the PS4, Sony's gonna win. Okay, I'm just calling that right now. Sony's gonna win. I think Microsoft's going to take a huge beating when the Xbox One launches. Apparently, the Wii U hasn't sold tremendously many copies, which is kind of worrying. And I read some kind of statement from someone that kept talking about, first of all, the Japanese gamers. Firstly, they seem to be kind of Japan focused. They're not like globally focused. At least from that one statement that I read, which is kind of worrying. And you see, I love Nintendo. My first console was an NES. Now I haven't stuck with Nintendo exclusively since then. My next console after that was the original PlayStation. I jumped over to Sony. You see, I didn't get a Super Nintendo when that was the current console. I didn't get a Nintendo 64. I didn't get a Nintendo GameCube back then. I've gotten the Super NES and the GameCube when the Wii was out. So, but the thing is, I want Nintendo to succeed. I really do, because if you think about it, of the current big three, they are the only dedicated game company in the business right now. The only game console company, exclusively. That's their only focus. It's like, obviously Microsoft isn't, and Sony isn't. They're larger companies that got into the gaming industry. So I really want Nintendo to succeed, and I would actually like I would like to see a fourth console, like from another dedicated gaming company. Could be a new upstart company. I'd like to see someone else, someone not from some major corporation, enter the video game console war, basically. I think Sony. I'm definitely sure Sony's gonna win the current war. Who will be left standing after that? Who knows? You know, Atari no longer makes consoles. Sega no longer makes consoles. It's like 15 years ago, that would have been unimaginable. Sorry, there's a rooster from somewhere in the area that keeps coming into the yard. But anyway, so yeah, those are my thoughts so far. I'm gonna go read some lists of available titles and PS4 launch titles, and gonna watch some more E3 videos regarding specific games. But just as a guess right now, I'd say that my first current generation console will be a PS4. That's just a guess right now. I might go with the Wii U. I'm not sure yet. And obviously, I can wait until the Christmas shopping season. I'm in no rush to get a new console right now. I'm gonna enjoy my PS3. But yeah, so that said, and it's 4:39 p.m. and thanks for watching.